All right, let's just get right into it. The question on everyone's mind, are we in an AI bubble? I mean, it's the big question in finance right now, isn't it? So today, we're going to dig into the evidence and see if all this hype has pushed stock prices into some kind of fantasy land, completely disconnected from reality.
Seriously, you hear it everywhere you turn. Is the US stock market in a massive AI bubble? Are we just repeating history with these crazy high prices? Well, let's stop guessing and actually dig into the data.
Okay, so first things first, let's look at the evidence that's got everybody so worried. The whole story really kicks off with one single but super important number. And here it is, 23. Right now, the S&P 500 is trading at a price-to-earnings ratio of 23x. So what does that even mean? Well, put simply, it means investors are shelling out $23 for every single dollar of profit a company makes. The big question, of course, is that a lot? Is that normal?
Well, context is key here, right? And that 23 times valuation, it's way, way higher than the historical average, which sits around 15. So, yeah, this is basically Exhibit A for the folks screaming bubble. People are paying a much bigger premium for profits than they used to. So that leads us to the real mystery. Why?
And to figure out that why, we can't just look at the whole market. That's actually pretty misleading. No, the real story, the secret sauce, is hidden inside a very small but unbelievably powerful group of companies.
So if it's not the whole market that's inflated, what in the world is dragging that average up so high? The answer? Well, it's a group of names you're definitely going to recognize.
Yep, you guessed it. Say hello to the Magnificent Seven. We're talking Microsoft, Meta, Alphabet, Apple, Amazon, NVIDIA, and Tesla. These 7 tech titans aren't just players in the economic story anymore, they are the story. Their performance is so off the charts, it's basically rewriting the rules for everyone else.
And if you want to see just how much power they have, get a load of this. These 7 companies, just 7, make up over 30% of the entire value of the S&P 500. I mean, think about that. That's an absolutely insane concentration of influence. It means when they move, the entire market has no choice but to move with them.
And that influence, it gets even crazier when you peek at their individual PE ratios. You've got Microsoft at 37, NVIDIA at 50, and then there's Tesla at a mind-boggling 249 times its earnings. Whoa! It's these massive, sky-high numbers that are single-handedly pulling up the average for the whole S&P 500.
Okay, so that's it, right? Case closed. It's a bubble? Well, not so fast. According to the analysis we're looking at, the answer is no. And the core argument is that these companies aren't just smoke and mirrors. They have, and I'm quoting here, extremely sound business fundamentals. They're making enormous profits, and that, the argument goes, is what justifies these higher price tags.
But to really get a handle on whether this time is different, you've got to look back. We need some historical context. So, let's put today's market head-to-head with the most legendary bubble of all time, the dot-com bust of 2000.
But hold on, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. The analysis points out something really important. While those big tech giants might be solid as a rock, there are definitely some other corners of the market that look, well, pretty frothy, super speculative.
And what are we talking about here? We're talking about things that sound like they're straight out of science fiction. Quantum computing, nuclear fusion, flying cars, even lunar exploration. I mean, these are industries where a profitable product is probably a decade away, maybe even more. And yet some stock prices seem to be acting like it's all happening tomorrow.
And that right there is the key difference. Back in 2000, the craziness was everywhere. It felt like every company with a .com in its name had a ridiculous price tag, whether they made money or not. Today, the market's strength is anchored by those super profitable giants, and all that wild speculative betting seems to be trapped in just a few of these niche, futuristic sectors.
You know, there's this great old saying, when even the shoeshine boy starts giving stock tips, it's a bubble. And that just nails the difference, doesn't it? The dot-com bubble was this huge cultural thing. Your neighbor, your barista, everyone was an expert. Today? Yeah, there's a ton of excitement about AI for sure. But that same kind of bonkers society-wide mania, it's just not quite there, at least not yet.
So it's not just the power of the tech giants propping things up. The analysis also points to 3 big-picture economic forces. You can think of them as tailwinds that are helping push the whole market forward.
Let's run through them real quick. First, the market is expecting some pretty big tax cuts. Second, a bunch of tariff talks have wrapped up, which gets rid of a whole lot of uncertainty. And third, it looks like the Federal Reserve is starting to cut interest rates. You put those three things together, and you've got a recipe for a pretty optimistic market.
All right, so we've looked at the Magnificent Seven, we've compared today to the dot-com era, and we've checked out the bigger economic picture. After all of that, what's the final verdict? Is it a bubble or not?
And the conclusion from this analysis is really interesting. It says we are not in a bubble yet. Instead, what we're witnessing right now is the starting point, basically stage one of a potential bubble. Now, that completely changes the way you think about this, doesn't it?
So why is this just the beginning? Well, think about it. The whole AI revolution is basically just a baby right now. Today, when we think of AI, we mostly think of chatbots, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. We're talking about AI completely transforming robotics, self-driving cars, medicine, scientific research, pretty much every industry you can imagine. The potential for growth is just massive.
And that leaves us with a huge and kind of mind-blowing final question. If the market we see today, with all these incredible record-breaking gains, if this is all just stage one of the AI boom, what in the world does stage two look like? That's something to think about. Thanks for joining me.